to stop.
We're here to build your dream team. Building futures, that's our theme. Key Tech Talks will show the way. With Key Global, spread your wings.
Willkommen, bienvenue. Welcome once again to Key Tech Talk, starring Laren, Halket, the founder of Key Global Recruitment. Now, this is slightly different, a divergence from the way we've done it before. Normally, Laren's interviewing other people, pioneers in tech recruitment or pioneers in neurodivergency. But today, first of all, I'm acknowledging the fact that I too am neurodivergent, and we're going to talk about neurodivergence in tech. Laren, when was the first time you realized, I would say even before you got into running Key Global, that you saw things slightly differently to many other people?
Yeah, so I think I saw things very differently as a child, in school, because I just had I was misunderstood like all throughout my school life, and at home a little bit when I was growing up, because I don't think siblings or friends quite kind of understood, and I kind of felt quite alien. So
Quite other. That's the way I used to describe it.
Yeah. And at school it was just really, really different, because I just felt like the naughty child. I was just always, I didn't do very well at my GCSEs. In fact, I come out with 0 grades. I couldn't get into any colleges or anything because my grades were so terrible, because I just couldn't, focus and concentrate. I got really bored, really irritable. It was just really tough. So then, I just kind of accepted it. At that point, I couldn't afford, a private consultation to be diagnosed. So it carried on in my, kind of later life through my teen.
Hang on a moment. That almost sounds like a damning indictment, and worse still, it almost sounds like a death sentence to ever getting to become an entrepreneur. How did you lift yourself out of that?
I think I just channeled my focus in wanting to be in business, because I've been reared, my family were entrepreneurs. So, I wanted to leave legacy, and I wanted to carry on the family trait, really. Sadly, my mum passed away when I was 16. And I think to this day, I always want to, make her proud, and, always, just try to, follow on the family trait. So, I was brought up in business with parents. They were real successful entrepreneurs.
Right.
And I think because I was reared that way, that's the path that I wanted to choose. So what I thought is, some of my parents, didn't do too good at school, but yet, growing up seeing them, once I could see that they had their passion, they built businesses. So I wanted to, I thought, well, they haven't had, maybe a great school life. So that means that, if they can do that, then I can do that. I just need to find my passion,
But is it the fact that when you found your passion, that is the thing you can focus on?
Yeah. So once I find my passion, I don't move away from that. And it's very, very hard, even now that I've had my diagnosis, when I'm really passionate about something, it's so hard to pull me away, because I'm so passionate and engrossed in what I'm doing. And sometimes if I do get interrupted because I'm so passionate and so hyper focused in something, people may see me, they may get my passion mixed up with aggression.
Right, I understand.
It's very odd.
Well, that's you just want to get to the point whereby people can understand things in a similar manner to you, and I can see that if that's not happening at the speed that you want it to happen. And I know classically ADHD means that you want things to happen quickly. You want to get to the point where you can make things happen.
Yeah, I get so frustrated with long processes.
Yeah.
It literally kills me. I can't do with it. I can't cope with it. You know, I'm always wanting to, you know, build the latest thing, you know, enhance our service all the time. You know, value for me is first and foremost. You know, I always want to be looking at how are we within my recruitment business, you know, how can we offer more and more value? And, you know, I try to do it at speed because I do get, you know, I just, you know, like to be quick. And that's the thing of the ADHD is you've got no patience sometimes. I've got no patience sometimes. And it's hard. It is hard.
I think that's possibly because you can see you've got a vision of where you want to be, and if other people can't see it the same way as you can, that can be frustrating for you.
Yeah.
So, but by the same token, I guess, I mean, I hear that you're just starting to really turn a corner now, and people are starting to take notice. You've got potential deals on the table. Things are starting to warm up, right?
Yeah. No, it's good. It's been a really tricky. Last year was really tricky. We had some family misfortunes. We had some bad news there. Business has been, you know, I think the last couple of years within, you know, recruitment, I think it's just been a bit of a slow burner.
Right.
And I think there's been challenges within the talent acquisition you know, sector. I think internal, I think external. I think, you know, that there's been a lot of people, you know, kind of gone from internal companies and stuff like that. I think external agencies found it hard. I've seen a lot of talent acquisition, you know, kind of agencies or whatever grouping together and actually trying to share revenue and projects and help each other out. And I think, you know, I think a lot of industries are moving that way. And I think it's nice to, you know, to try to help one another get through some of these tough periods and these tough times. But yeah, you know, I am bouncing back. You know, I will always bounce back no matter how hard it is. You know, as a tenacious, fearless, really passionate entrepreneur, which is neurospicy. And I wouldn't be who I am today.
I think that gives you most IT specialists that I've ever come across are on the spectrum. I can spot it a mile off now. I mean, I couldn't back then. I used to be a Cisco engineer, and I used to sit in computer rooms with a duffel coat on and a laptop, and I used to avoid humans like the plague. It turns out I quite like talking to humans, and I've kind of gone the other side now. But now, when I meet IT tech people, I can spot the ones that are absolutely laser focused on whatever it is that they're on, whatever their bag is for the moment, whatever is getting them juiced up, and they're mostly neurospicy. So I think you're in good company.
Yeah, and I don't think I would be the person that I am, you know, without my neurodivergency. You know, I'm proud to have it. You know, I am a proud neurodiverse entrepreneur. You know, it's got its challenges, but you know, you can't change a situation. This is my motto. You can't change a situation, but you can change how you look at things. You can take positive from negative. And the positives for me being neurodiverse in such a competitive industry,
right?
Within specializing within IT, which I do. I specialize in technology and IT, you know, consultative, long partnership led recruitment. You know, I'm creative, I'm big thinking, I'm really tenacious, I don't give up. I'm always trying to add more and more value for my clients because I'm not just a one-hit wonder. You know, I'm not your contingent recruitment, I'm more your long-term consultative partner that wants to, you know, be a part of, you know, businesses' long-term goals and vision. You know, I don't just want to do the one-hit wonders, the typical kind of estate agents type of, type of work. It's not what, it's not what drives me. And I think to be able to have that vision and be so confident in such a competitive industry without my neurodiversity, I don't know whether I'd be able to keep up that, to kind of keep that up, that vision. And it's through my neurodivergency that helped me to keep that really long, to keep that really detailed, impactful, meaningful, value added, kind of brain and mindset. Because that's what neurodivergent does. It makes you that, problem solving, creative thinking. I see things personally. My partner will often say to me, how can you see through something like that? Like, how did you know that was going to happen? And you do when you're neurodivergent. You can see the situation before someone else can see things. Like, I am a total spotter. I spot things before things have happened. How I analyze things is like, so fast. So yeah, does my neurodivergency help me be, a good thinking entrepreneur, a forward thinking entrepreneur? It absolutely does. And I own it. I'm proud of it. And I sing it from the rooftops.
No, I think it's absolutely the case that if you can see things from like a few degrees to one side that everybody else is, you're going to see around those corners that other people are blocked by. And that's a benefit. The issues that hold me back is frustration that other people don't see things as quickly as I do, perhaps, or people don't see the picture that I see. And I guess you share that with me.
Yeah, I absolutely, I get like that because I feel like I see things so quickly. I then get frustrated with, why can't people see that so clearly, quickly?
This is why I want to give a big shout out to Stacy Middleton, because people like her have the patience to deal with people like you and I and help us make the mundane happen, the stuff we don't have the patience for, so that we can get on with being a visionary, being an entrepreneur, making things happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Stacy Middleton, massive shout out to you. You amazing, beautiful person. She is my VA. Stacy, I couldn't do the stuff that I do without you.
I need to do a cut. I need to do a cut there. So I'm just going to cut myself back in. Apologies. My camera failed, but that's okay. I can sort that out. Bear with. Okay. I upgraded recently to, Windows 11. And since then it's been fighting with my, my camera ever since. Apologies. I'm still trying to. I'm waiting for Microsoft to come up with a sensible response. Bear with me. We'll cut this together as usual. I cut stuff together. Hang on.
Yeah, it's fine.
Bear with me. Right. Good. Yeah, that's back on. Software. Bane of my life. So I'm going to count 3, 2. I won't say the 1, and then you carry on.
Okay.
You ready? 3, 2.
So yeah, Stacy Middleton, a massive shout out to you. You are my absolute hero. She makes she allows me to be, the entrepreneur that I am. And I think as an entrepreneur, the best entrepreneurs, I feel, are the ones that can put their hand up and say, I can't do this, I can't do that. Bring in the subject matter experts to allow you to flourish in your way and your style and your strength.
Yes, I think that's critical. I want to give a big shout out to Heather Wax, my partner, long-suffering wife, who actually helps me navigate the world. Without her, I would be a little bit lost. And she often is. I mean, I had issues this morning. I was really frustrated by people who weren't being clear on what they wanted. So I sat down with her, and she made me understand that perhaps they just need a little bit more time. And I come back to them next week and we'll get exactly what we need. But it's having people like that in our lives, Lauren, that make it possible for us to flourish. It makes it possible for us to go from vision to reality, and you know, it's people like that that hold them.
Success.
Yes, quite so.
Yeah.
Quite so.
Yeah,
Okay. So before we wind this up today, can you give me one moment in your life where you suddenly realized that actually neurodivergence wasn't a millstone around your neck, but in fact it was the air, the wind beneath your wings? That moment where you suddenly thought, this can really make me stand out in all the right ways. Shall I do me first? I'll do me first.
Okay.
It was about just over 2 years ago. I got my diagnosis, and I suddenly realized that I don't have to keep beating myself up for not seeing things exactly the same way as everybody else. And then I suddenly thought, if they realized I can see through the maze that constantly makes them slow and not get to the point quickly, if I could show them that I can go boom straight there, then maybe I can use that to create a business where I'm helping people shine for the right reasons, because I can cut straight through. And that from that moment onwards, I started introducing myself as, I'm Gareth from Many Purple Hats. I am neurodivergent. I'm ADHD and autistic, and therefore I will see things differently from you. But it also means you can be blunt with me and you can be direct with me, because I appreciate it. And if I'm blunt with you, then I expect it back. And from that moment onwards, it was like a freedom. The weight, self-criticism and self-doubt was kind of lifted. Do you remember a time when that happened for you?
Yeah, so it was when I got diagnosed too. So I was on the NHS for I don't know how many years. It was freaking ridiculous. So I got frustrated in the end by waiting, because, like you say, that's, you know, an ADHD trait. We get frustrated. We want to fast track all the time. We don't like being kept behind. So I got a private appointment, did my private appointment. As soon as I walked in the room, 2 seconds later, I was diagnosed with severe ADHD, and suspected autism as well. So I got the diagnosis, and my shoulders just felt so much freer. Like you say, similar feeling to you. It was just like, wow, I can take this mask off now, because I'd been masking it for so long.
That's the thing, isn't it? You've been masking for so long.
Yeah. So I was masking it for so freaking long, and I was like, yes, done it. And then, I just thought that, okay, I've accepted it. It takes a while to accept, but that is what it is. Took some time to research it, and then started to feel, a bit more confident. And then I think it gave me the opportunity to rebrand my business, to have global within my recruitment company. So it didn't have that before. So I thought, God damn, 10 years of suffering, through school, through childhood, through family, through siblings, through friends, etc., relationships, list goes on and on. So I got a diagnosis, and I thought, right, I've got a good business. And so I created it global. And then from there, I've been forever trying to change it. And since the diagnosis, I've added more things to my business, such as HR, as well as recruitment, and specifically now, specializing in the SME market, where we can not only, put fantastic talent into, technology companies, but we can also, kind of hold their hand in terms of making sure that they're inducted properly, making sure that they're set up for 5 years of success and progression, and actually from that diagnosis being able to be comfortable and pivot my business, like I'm doing at the moment, with trying to create my technology behind it as well. Being neurodiverse, I just want to keep, evolving, developing, not just for me, but for my clients. I want to keep, I want to keep adding services and being a massive value add, because I don't like that quick hit sugar transactional CV vending type of recruitment. I'm not here for that. I don't like it. It's not me. So neurospicy, long-term, detailed, that's what I'm all about.
Well, I hope you guys have found that interesting. Two neurospicy tech pioneers talking to each other. But the truth of the matter is, the thread that comes through it is, and this maybe goes out to all those undiagnosed neurospicy people out there. The moment you feel you can drop the mask and just be who you are without fear of reproach, the moment you work that in as being just part of your personality so that people don't expect anything more or less from it, it's just you, your life becomes easier and more enjoyable.
Yeah. Absolutely. You get the confidence to actually, go with that vision. No matter how big it is, no matter how small it is, you get that confidence then to actually start making that vision, not a dream, turning it from a dream into reality.
Yeah, and on that note, thank you so much for watching. Try and keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars. Remember, you don't need to mask if you just be yourself. And hopefully we'll see you all next time. Until next time, goodbye.
Thank you.
We're here to build your dream team, building futures, that's our theme. Key Tech Talks will show the way, with Key Global, spread your